It is so good to be here at React Conf and see so many faces that we know and people who've we've come to know and love over the last couple of years. At React Conf 2015, you getting set up? Do I need to tell a joke? Oh. My name is Michael Jackson. This is my partner, Ryan Florence. We are 2/3 of React Training. Shout out to Tyler McGinnis somewhere in the audience. We are the people who build and maintain React Router. React Conf 2015, I stood on this stage and I told you that about 1/3 of the people who were installing React were also installing React Router. Today, that number has almost doubled. Today, about 60% of installs of React DOM also include React Router, which is a number that, to me, it's crazy. We never anticipated when we first built the router that it would get this huge. And it's a huge responsibility, and it's one that we take really, really seriously. That's why over the last year, we have been working hard on the router to bring it to more people on more platforms than ever before. In the words of Cheng Lu, I think we've leveled up several degrees in power. Ever since last August, when we first started working on version 4 of the router, we have pushed over 700 commits. We have merged over 181 pull requests and closed over 300 issues. But the number I'm most proud about is that 64 different people committed code in router version 4. So there's one, I'm two. I mean, 62 people out there helped us ship React Router version 4, so thank you. In addition, we've traveled around the world as part of our company, reacttraining.com, training and learning from some of the brightest people behind the largest, most popular websites in the world, many of which use React Router at scale. And their work that they have been doing has informed work that we've done on the router. Last week, all of this work came to fruition when we actually shipped React Router version 4. And we found excuses to not, we stopped finding excuses to not ship it, and we actually just pushed the button and did it. Since then, it's been a real love fest, and we've been really, really happy with the results. You might think, why another major version of the router? The short answer is that we want to make a router that is as good as React is. That's saying a lot. I actually hold React in really high esteem. I think we all do. And version 4 gets us closer than ever to that goal. It all starts with components. Over the last couple of years, we've learned that we can do just about anything with a component. I can animate with a component. I can fetch data with a component. I can read a media query with a component. I can parse an AST with a component, right? Why can't I route with a component? Version 4 of React Router is almost entirely just components. And we've been saying that for a long, long time now. Virtually the entire API is components, and they're tiny. You can hold almost the entire code base in your head at once. In fact, to prove it, in the next 60 seconds, I'm going to take you on a tour of our entire API. Okay, at the root is a router. You wrap everything in a router. It provides the context that all of your descendants are going to need, like things like routes and links, to know, what the current URL is. Now, we provide a lot of different routers for different environments. We have a React Router DOM package for DOM-based routers. We have them for native. We've also got routers for writing tests and for doing purely in-memory stuff and for server-side rendering as well. So that's at the root. The heart of the router really is this route component. Route's job is simple. Just match the URL and render something. Inside that render prop, you have total control over rendering. Now, routes, whenever they match the URL, they render, which is great. You can put stuff in your header, in your sidebar, in your footer. You can put it all over. But in the case that you need to disambiguate, in this case we have two very similar kind of routes, and we only want one of them to render, well, we'll just wrap them in a switch component, which ensures that only the first one that matches the URL renders. That's what happens when you have a good story around composition and when you're using just components. If you want the user to change the URL, you give them a link. We have links for both DOM and native environments. If you want to change the URL programmatically, you use a redirect. And that's it for our version 4 API. I mean, there's a little bit more. You can read about it on our website, but that's the core and the heart of it. You know what I really love about tiny APIs? Is how I can hold the entire thing in my head at one time. When I was first learning React, I used to go to the docs, but after I built my first couple of React apps, I stopped going to the docs. I knew the API in my head. This router is the same way. We think that after you build your first couple of screens with React Router, you're not even going to go to our docs page anymore. You'll know it because you'll be able to internalize it. Now, React Router, I want to talk a little bit about the history here. Okay, so we were born on the web. Now, the web is this system of links and documents. Any document can link to any other document. And it ends up, you know, a good router needs to be able to transition from any document to any other document in your app. In addition, you've got things like the back and forward buttons. You've got the URL address bar up top, right? So you have to be able to be flexible enough to go from any page to any other page in the app. By the way, the browser provides UI that you didn't provide. So you can't always control whether or not they're clicking on things or what to do when they do click on things. Now, browsers, internally, they manage all of this state using a history stack. So we can see like what web pages Ryan has been visiting just by using his history menu here in the browser, or like clicking and holding on the back button.
Probably should have cleared that.
Dude. Not for a presentation, come on. So the browser manages all of this stuff internally, right? But unfortunately, the only couple of, so it gives us a programmatic API. We have push state, we have replace state. But when Ryan changes the API, the only thing we get is this pop state event. And then when a pop state happens, we're not sure if he was going back one entry in the stack or if he went forward 2 entries in the stack. Of course, the browser knows where we are in the stack, but it doesn't tell us. We just get window.location and history.length. And I'm sad to tell you that even history.length is a lie because it caps at 50 in most major web browsers. So the only thing we really have is window.location. So we don't know what web pages Ryan has been viewing in the past, which, as you could see, might actually be a good thing. So anyway, so we built an abstraction over the various quirks in the web browsers, and we called it history. So we publish our imperative API as the history API. Now, when we turned our attention to native, a lot of people told us, well, routing on native is going to be a lot different than what you guys are doing on the web. Just heads up. And historically, it has been. Routing on native traditionally is pushing stacks of views on top of other views. So you're managing this stack of views using like a stack controller. But one thing that we noticed was that native apps also have URLs, right? You can deep link to any screen in your native app with a URL. That looks familiar to us. That's something that we love. So this crazy situation that we have on the web where you can link from any document to any other document, it's actually a little more controlled on native because you don't have the address bar up top. You don't have that back button either. So you can control at any given point in time what controls the user has available for navigation in your app. It turns out our intuition about native was correct. Deep linking on native in React Router kind of just works because we have a history stack on in React Router native, just like we have on the web. This is our entire deep linking implementation, something that I think was perceived to be kind of difficult, but for us didn't actually turn out to be too bad. Something else that I think we anticipated we might have a problem with was the Android back button. Turns out it's just another component. And it's not too bad. It fits in the entire implementation fits on this one slide. So use cases that we thought might be a challenge for us on native actually turned out to be really straightforward. Let's see. Because of our web roots, it turns out we actually solved the most hostile environment first, which was the web. I would love to now show you some demos on React Router native, but unfortunately I didn't have time to get anything together. So unfortunately,
I got your demo
okay,
here.
Maybe Ryan has some demos for us. You got?
I got your demo.
All right. Go for it, Ryan.
My screen resolution maybe is going to troll us a little bit. Let me try to fix that really fast, but we got a demo here. There we go.
Beautiful shade of blue.
Yeah. So this is React Router Native running in the simulator, and this is a stack navigator. We don't ship a stack navigator, but I built one as a demo, and you can see we can come back and we got these beautiful animations. Even got the panning going on here. We can come here to our messages, come back to home. Now remember where our URL was in messages? We're still there. So we can handle all of that stack navigation and keep the history.
A different history stack per tab.
Yeah, got your demo.
Nice, that was super impressive. But I mean, it's not like the router can do the router, it's probably like really difficult to do like some animations and stuff in the router. So like, we'll keep working on that. Maybe we'll have some animations
like animations
next
on
time.
the web instead of native?
I mean, the screen is totally different, right? Like native and web, like they're totally different. There's no way.
They're different platforms, so it must be a totally different programming model, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless we wanted to have like one community, like Tom was talking about.
This is the React Router docs page. Got some nice animations in there. What's cool about this is there's an animated library for native, and there's a beta one for web. So it's the exact same programming model to do an animation here with React Router and animated as it is on native. So you can learn that abstraction once and apply it to every platform. It's not about the platform. It's about the screen size and the input device. It's not native or web.
That's awesome. One of the things that I'm most excited about with just shipping components is that there's no longer an integration layer with React Router. React itself is our integration layer. So I was actually really excited about like the React Router, the React VR stuff that we saw this morning. So definitely next year we will have a React Router in React VR.
Hang on. Saw that talk this morning. Downloaded the zip file. I love that I'm using software that had to download a zip file to run. Open up the Tor sample and dropped a little React Router into React VR. So I just took the demo that was there. They had some stuff in state, wrapped it in a memory router, put a redirect to the first photo ID. So when we come to the root, redirect there instead, and then made a route for the photo ID, and then the rest, you could look at the git commit, and it's like 4 lines of code changed, and that's that. And made one little quick change to the nav button, and gave it a little 2 prop. It's like our link. It's pretty cool. I got to go buy some VR stuff now, I guess.
So with this router, we truly believe that we've built something that you are going to love. You can learn how to route once. You can route on any platform where React runs, and that's kind of the point, right? Is to learn things once and then be able to write for any platform that you want. So I'm Michael. This is Ryan. We are React Training. Thank you very much.
Thanks.